Good evening, everybody. At this time, please silence your cell phone and be advised these proceedings are being recorded for those physically present in the council chamber who desire to address the city council during the meeting. Please complete the request to speak form available at the front entrance of the council chamber and present to the city clerk. Speakers physically present will be called upon at an appropriate time. For each person will be allowed 3 minutes of speaking time. Go ahead and call this meeting to order. Tuesday, January 13th at 6 p.m. Tonight's meeting will be a close of memory of Thomas Schwab, who passed away on December 13, 2025. The invocation will be given by Pastor Mark at Grandview Baptist, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be given by Fire Chief Gary. We'll let him do something. All right. Start the year off, so make you work. All right. So please stand.
Let's pray. Father, it's always a privilege to come and be a part of the city council meeting and to recognize you as the sovereign of the universe, the King. And I pray that we all would submit to you in humbleness, humility. I pray that you guide the city council and the mayor and all the council members, the attorney, and all those that are involved in helping run the city. Give them wisdom that only comes from you and would be evident. And Lord, there's a number of our special people that are here with us that protect us from fire and police and even the EMTs and stuff. And Lord, we want to pray a special blessing on those as well. And then tonight, the person that passed away, I pray that you would be with his family, that you would comfort them with the presence of your Holy Spirit. And now, Lord, we give the rest of this evening to you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Mark and Gary. Appreciate it. Madam City Clerk, can we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Brown?
Here.
Councilmember Allen?
Here.
Councilmember Wilson?
I am here.
Mayor Pro Tem Sabino? Here. Mayor Hussey?
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum?
Thank you. Item A, reorder and additions or removals, any items on the agenda. Do we have any, City Manager?
Yeah, I would like to pull item number 3 and number 7.
You want to remove them, or?
Yes, please, remove them. 3 on consent and 7 the public hearing.
All right, Jen? You want to remove or you want to talk about it? Before we get in there, public comment. This will be an opportunity for members of the public to comment on any item not appearing on the regular agenda because of restriction contained in California law. The city council may not discuss or act upon the item agenda, but may briefly respond to the statements made or ask questions for clarification. The mayor also may request a brief response from staff. The questions raised during the public comment or may request the matter to be agendized. Do we have any?
Yes, sir. Michael Heftman?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council. My name is Michael Heffman with Burtech Waste Industries, and tonight I'd just like to take a few minutes of your time to share with you our latest education tool, our school activity packet, all about waste and recycling, which you should have in front of you. As you know, Senate Bill 1383 requires that 75% of organics are diverted away from the landfill, and education is a key component in achieving those goals. So to that end, what Burtech has designed in front of you is a tool for teachers and parents alike in grades with students in grades TK through 2nd to learn about recycling and what goes into each container. If you open the school activity packet, the All About Waste Recycling, on the inside flap, you'll see there's a lesson plan for teachers. It just gives them an idea of what they could look to, what items they have in the packet and what they could use to follow. On the inner flap is a QR code, which takes teachers and students to Burtech's QR code. It's called our Kids Corner, where the activity sheets could be downloaded and used at home or in the classroom. and new information could be made available. We also have our illustrated storybook, Barrels of Fun, which is a story about our three main characters. That's the black barrel for trash, the blue barrel for recycle, and the green barrel for organics waste. They talk about what goes into each container, what happens to the containers once they're picked up by the trucks, and in the case of the blue and the green barrels, what new products they become once they're recycled. Also, our activity sheets for the teachers to use, and again, these are made available on the Kids Corner as well, and just can be mass printed in the classrooms. There's word searches, coloring pages, thought-provoking exercises like what goes where, just to help the kids kind of learn the lesson of what goes into each container. And then finally, we have posters that could be hung up in the classroom or in the high-traffic areas that remind students and parents and teachers what goes into each container there in the classrooms. So we're happy to say we partnered with the local school district, and we made sure that there is one of these packets in each of the elementary classrooms here in the city. And so we just wanted to share with you the efforts we're doing with the students of the residents here in Grand Terrace, and that these were all placed in the classrooms at no additional charge. So thank you for your time. I appreciate the opportunity, and hope you all have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No more public comment.
Okay, you know, tonight it says we have no special presentation, but I'm going to let Ariel Schwab, she won this. Do we have another person?
Excuse me, Mayor, I apologize. We did receive one more public comment. This is going to be Joy Valadez.
Okay, then after that, we'll do our special presentation. Go ahead.
How you guys doing tonight? I'm just a citizen here. I have 3 children, well, 4 children now. I have 3 children that are active in the sports community throughout the city. We play football, baseball, soccer, flag football. We're heavily involved with all the sports here. One of what I wanted to bring up to all you guys is that we have tryouts coming up for baseball the end of this month. The field conditions are very poor. I have been out there with my children practicing on the weekends. We also have a softball team that a lot of the dads in the area have now come together and joined a team. We go out there and practice on Sundays as well for fun, just trying to keep the full community involved and moving on and getting these big groups of kids out and enjoying themselves. I spoke with the league staff last year regarding the conditions that we had last year. I have kids that, like I said, they play on all 3 fields that are out there. Each and every one of them is in bad condition. There's gopher holes, there's, donkey poop, which we can't do anything about that. But the holes everywhere are bad. Last week I was out there just running in the outfield to catch a fly ball. I myself tripped and fell and rolled about 10 or 15 feet. So I would ask that you guys please take into consideration having your public works maintenance crews go out, take a look at the fields, at least go out, knock down all the gopher piles that are out there, and hopefully fill in some of those holes. Because I know the league themselves, from what I've been told, cannot do any maintenance on the fields because they are the city's public fields. I don't know if that is truly the case, but that is what I was told. I myself have contemplated going out there and taking bags of dirt just to fill them. But I'd like you guys to at least think of having the Public Works Department go out there, clean those up, fill those in, and provide a safe environment for the kids. You guys did a big job at the DeBerry Park for the soccer fields. It's much better for the children to go out and run there. We've had a great time out there, but we would like at least the baseball fields to be looked and taken into consideration. I work in development, so I know there is a specific plan, I believe, in the area for a future development which may come in and produce parks. So I'm assuming that's a little bit of where you guys will be holding off and maybe pushing a lot of that onto the developer if that does come to fruition. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Conrad, do you have any you want to say about that so we can schedule getting these fields at least temporary or fixed so nobody hurts themselves, these kids?
We can take a look at it. As you said, we completely redid the soccer fields this year, and the ball fields are on, as well as the ball field lighting are on slate for, we did the worst first. Now, this is our next step. So
Well,
it's
can
the
we
next one
do
we're
something before their season, especially with those gopher holes, so nobody hurts himself?
We will go take a look and fill what we
Okay.
have, but there is a reality of, this is spring, we're coming into springtime, there's gophers, they have their puppies, and we routinely have exterminators out there managing the gophers, but it's also California. If you look at the flag, they say that's a bear, but it's a gopher on that thing. So we
Now, as
are
far as-
overrun with them.
As far as the league working on stuff, because when I coached baseball, we would have our spring day out there and fill in dirt and do stuff. I mean, what can't the league work on now? I mean, this is 20 years ago, but we would go
No,
out there all
we
these.
work with the league. What we don't want is individuals out there doing, wildcatting it, but we work with the league on the fields all the time.
Well, I know we would have all the coaches gathered together and work on the fields and stuff.
Right, and then there is a liability issue that we have to make sure it's supervised, it's done properly. That's why we said we don't necessarily want individuals out there doing it, but we do work with the league on the fields, and the league's been very good to work with us on the fields.
All right, sir, well, stay in contact with us and we'll get on in and make sure. I know it's a lot. And, we do have pie in the sky dreams for that, the Field of Dreams. And in consultant development, how long it takes everything. So we'll get going and we'll keep pushing on it, okay? We don't want any of the kids to get hurt. We all want them to have a great season, and we appreciate it. Thanks for bringing it to our attention. Okay, do we have any other public comment?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll close that. So a special presentation, Ariel Schwab. She's the daughter of Tom Schwab, and she would like to say a couple words on behalf of her family.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. Thank you for allowing me a moment to honor my father, Tom Schwab, who passed away this past December. My dad dedicated 25 years of his life to the city of Grand Terrace, serving 2 years as finance director and 23 years as city manager before retiring in 2009. But for him, this was never just a job. He truly loved working for the city, and he was incredibly proud to call Grand Terrace his home. He cared deeply about the people he worked with. He treated city employees like family and genuinely valued each person's role in serving the community. That care extended to the residents as well. He took the time to listen, to know people by name, and to understand their concerns and work with them to solve them. My dad was rare. He was one of the longest-serving city managers in California, choosing to remain in Grand Terrace because he believed in this community and its people. On behalf of my family, thank you for honoring him today. Grand Terrace meant the world to him, and we are forever grateful for the memories, friendships, and legacy he left behind. It means a lot for me to be here today. I spent much of my childhood, going behind his chair and just being a part of this town. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you ever go to lunch with your dad at Baker's?
Oh, all the time.
Because I remember your dad, it was probably you talking to you and explaining what the city manager does and stuff. And
Yeah.
was he trying to talk you into becoming a city manager?
I was going to be a city manager. I became a teacher, has its challenges too. But no, I was his protege, and I came to every council meeting. If I wasn't allowed to, I watched him on TV. Those closed sessions sure went a long time sometimes, though.
Oh, we play bingo in the back.
Yeah, I know. My mom told me there was something going on, but no, this town has meant a lot to us, and my dad truly loved this town, and walking in here today, I haven't been here in so long, so it was sort of emotional, so thank you.
Yeah, not like I'm stuck. I was like him with the baseball league and stuff, and I just heard City of Grand Terrace, city manager, and I didn't know anything about it because my focus was on youth sports and stuff, but I remember him sitting with a young lady when we emailed each other and just brought back a memory because I told him my sons, we used to go to Baker's and stuff. Of course, Baker's was cheaper back then.
Yeah.
But, well, thank you very much. I'm going to open up to the council. Do you have anything you want to say, Mr. Wilson?
Since I'm the oldest one here, yes, I remember Tom well, and I greatly appreciated his service. I know he was reluctant to take that job to begin with because he was a very young man when he took it. I have some newspaper articles that might be interesting to you for your family that were posted, 30 years ago, somewhere in that direction. And I'd be glad to send them over to you so I can see it afterwards. I'll take down your information and send them to you.
Thank you. He actually was a hoarder, we decided, and he's saved almost every article. And so reading through them has actually been really fun. He was 29 when he started here.
Yeah.
And he didn't know where it would lead, but he was there for 25 years.
Yep, he was a great man.
Thank you.
Councilman Allen?
When I think of your father, what I remember is that when I first got involved in the city, my involvement was starting the CERT program, the Community Emergency Response Team, and he was still the city manager at that time. And after a couple of years, then after he wasn't the city manager, he came to the CERT meetings because he wanted to still be active in the city. And his input was so valuable to us and helped us so much. And so when I think of Tom, what I think about is over that sidewalk on Rollins Park that has all those names in the cement, and right there at the bottom it says Tom Schwab and family.
Yeah, through his vision, that park was a reality.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Matt?
I'd just like to thank you for sharing your dad with us. It's interesting. I have a different perspective. I was 13 when he started with the city.
Yeah.
When I think of Grand Terrace and the city manager, I think of Tom Schwab. I mean, Tom was the one constant we had here throughout. He was one of those, the foundation of the city when it was in its infancy, along with the Pettis and Byron Madison and Hilke, who served a long time. There were others, but Tom was the one constant. But his leadership and dedication and passion to serve this community, he was the city manager that actually lived in the city he served, and that's unique. I would just say that his legacy is lasting. The mark he left on this community, not only with the people he worked with, but also the residents like myself who grew up with him. So, I'm very sorry for your loss, for all of your loss, and you and your family are in my prayers. And,
Thank you.
And I just thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem?
There's nothing that I can say that can add to what everyone has said here already, but my condolences and my prayers to your family. And again, thank you so much for being here tonight and for your family for sharing your father with us. Thank you.
Thank you again. I appreciate the time to be up here. I know my dad's happy that we're here today, so thank you.
Conrad, did you have some?
Yeah, and from the city manager's office, I want to thank you too for sharing your father with us. And he has set a bar that we continue to keep trying to hit. So his energy, his essence is here, and he's the one that we try to continue as the standard in the city manager's office to emulate. So thank you, and we appreciate what he contributed.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. So who do you have here tonight?
I have my son and daughter, Laurent and Lorelei. I have my sister, which is my dad's daughter. And then I have my mom, Linda, and then his longtime friend, Andy Green, who worked for cities also, and then his wife, Juanita.
Okay. Well, we would like to give the immediate family a little token. So if you guys could come up here, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Even mom. what was there, the Caddyshack gopher over there? Well, you saw my thing about the lights, so. All right. Well, okay, consent calendar. The following consent calendar items are expected to be routine and non-controversial, to be acted upon in the city council at one time without discussion. Any council member, staff member, citizens may request the removal of the consent calendar. And I have to recluse myself from item D5, November check registered 89091 for $359.85 for reimbursement of November health insurance. So we are removing item 3 and 7, discussion of 4, but before that, do we have any public comment, Daisy?
No, sir.
Okay, so a removal for 3 and 7, so and number 4 is for discussion, so Councilor Allen. You want to remove 4 or you want to discuss it? Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Mayor. So this is item 4 is an award for a professional services agreement with Wildan for the Gateway Specific Plan. And it's an amount not to exceed $394,770. And I just want to ask for clarification, where's this money coming from? Who's paying it? And who's reimbursing and all that?
This is done through a reimbursement agreement with Lewis.
I'm sorry?
This is done through a reimbursement agreement with Lewis.
Okay.
So we have to engage the contractor.
Okay.
We have to manage the consultant because Lewis cannot hire their own consultant to inspect themselves.
Okay.
So that puts that arm's length that
Okay.
arm's length in there. So that's the purpose of that.
So we hire them and we pay them and then we're reimbursed.
Correct.
Okay. Right on. I just wanted that information to be out there in the public sphere. Thanks a lot, City Manager. Thanks, Mayor.
So we have a motion, do we have a motion for 1, 2, 4, 5, 6? And like I said, I'm reclusing myself from 5 for the voting.
Move for approval.
Second.
City Attorney, you have anything?
I do not. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, please vote.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Unfinished business, none. New business, none. Future agendas at this time, City Council may propose item discussed on the action of future duly agenda City Council meeting. Where? No, that's removed. Now you guys messed me up. We removed item 7, right?
Correct.
Anyway, if anybody has a future agenda item that they would like to bring to the council, please say so now.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, can we ask, I don't believe anybody's here, but since it was noticed as a public hearing, they're welcome to speak on it, but I believe we're going to be re-agendizing it for a future meeting.
Okay, item 7 is going to be,
Yes.
you want to vote on that or just?
No, I just want to see.
You're just making it known.
Yeah, I just want to see if there's anybody here for that item. I don't see anybody, but I just want to confirm that for the record.
Matt Brown, are you here for that item? Oh, okay.
Okay. The record shows there's nobody here. so
Because
just-
I'm sure Mr. Brown studied it really hard, because I saw him the other day just. I know you do, buddy. So you'll just have to save him. That's all right. We all making mistakes. It's the beginning of the new year. I'm going to try not to make one dad joke this year. That ain't going to happen, but I'm going to try. Okay, so do we have any future agenda item requests? None? All right, well, we'll close item H. Item I, City Council Communications. Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I really don't have anything to report. I just wanted to remind everyone watching on TV or on the internet, I should say, is that tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock is the Chamber of Commerce monthly Coffee Connections meeting at Azure Hills Church. And then Saturday morning, the Chamber is doing a ribbon cutting for a new restaurant we have in town, which is Sinbad's Coastal Kebab. The grand opening is at 9 a.m. on Saturday morning, and that's at the Shell Station on Barton Road. And then we have Cars and Coffee Saturday morning as well. So those were some important things, but I, of course, saved the best for last, and that is that Sunday is Mayor Pro Tem's birthday, and I didn't want to let the day go by without acknowledging Mayor Pro Tem's coming birthday and giving her a gift that she may want to use at future council meetings. So that's all I have to report for this
What
evening.
is it, spray saying I stink or something? Is that what the gift is? Are we going to let her open it right now in front of everybody?
I'll open it while I speak. Go ahead.
Okay. So the ribbon cutting, did we send an email out for us on that? Because I don't remember seeing anything on that.
I don't believe I've seen any emails. The chamber sent out an email today. I didn't see anything from the city.
So that's at 9 o'clock.
9 a.m. at Sinbad's
Okay,
Kebab.
Saturday. All right, is that it? Yes. All right, thank you. Councilman Allen?
You know, that Sinbad's Coastal Kebab, that place all over the social media. People can't stop talking about it, you know, about how good it is. And so I just had to go check it out last week. Because me being the vegetarian I am, I'm always open to finding a good Mediterranean place, and it's pretty good. I'm really, really happy they're here in Grand Terrace.
Do you eat the meat or do you eat the vegetables?
As a vegetarian, I eat the vegetables.
So, a vegetable kebab.
Yeah. Yep, you bet. And I'm a Mediterranean restaurant connoisseur. I know about quite a few of them in the surrounding areas.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's up there with them pretty good.
All right.
So, and if anybody out there listening, if you want to attend the chamber meeting, what Matt was talking about at the Azure Hills Church, so it's at the old kindergarten building where that is now a meeting, kind of a meeting room where they can do socializing and things like that, which is right beside the fire station, right across the wall from it. So I drove around looking for it. See, the first time they moved there, I just said, it's at the church, and I was like looking all in the parking lot, and then I finally saw it back behind it there.
The only reason I knew where it was is because that's where the Grand Terrace Toastmasters Clubs meets on Friday mornings at 7 a.m. So
Yeah. Well, I saw the chamber president's yellow Jeep blazing over there in the parking lot, and I said, that's LC. I got to go. That's where it's at. So I want to tell you, though, where I went to last Sunday. So do you remember several months ago, the Academy of Champions came here and asked us for some money so that they could send a team to China to compete? Well, last Sunday, the Academy of Champions put on a performance down here at Cal Skate. And I'm talking about what a show. My God, there was 2 hours of jazz and pizzazz that you just couldn't, it just didn't stop. It was fantastic. I tell you right now, I was so proud of that money that we spent because those uniforms they were wearing out there on the dance floor were paid for by us. And I was, the Academy of Champions leadership, you know, they came up to me during the intermission show and they thanked me and said, see all those uniforms those girls are wearing, those are all because you folks, you know, supported us the way you did.
It's a good show.
And it was a great show, and the parking lot was overflowing with people, standing room only, and I was thinking to myself, all these people are going to need a place to eat when they get done here. They're going to want a cup of coffee and fill their tank up with gas. I just love when these businesses bring all these people in here. And because a lot of those people were not Grand Terrace residents. They're from out of town, you know, and they come to our city and brought in there by Cal Skate. And so I tell you that Cal Skate's a real treasure. There are very few indoor skating rinks in Southern California. It's a real treasure. We should be thankful we have it here and really support them. I tell you, I was really happy to go there. Now, today, I attended the Cal Cities Roundtable discussion on housing policy. It was at 10 o'clock this morning, and it was, of course, it was a Zoom meeting, but it was local leaders from all up and down the state, talking with Cal Cities. You probably know I'm talking about the local lobbyists since you're the president of the chapter here, division. So, and we spent 90 minutes talking about the upcoming housing policies and what they want to do. And there's some real effort right now to get HCD under control. And they're going to there's an audit going to be done. And because there's an acknowledgement across the board that the last RENA numbers were just out of control. They were just, it's like somebody threw a grenade in there and whatever numbers flew up in the air said, grab them, And so, anyway, there was a great roundtable. Now, tomorrow there's another one, if you haven't registered for it, at 10 a.m., and I'll be attending that one also. But I wanted to ask the city manager a question about the last weekend report we got. Said that the ball field lights had suffered some severe extensive damage and it was going to take a lot of money to fix them. But that's all it said. Can you elaborate on the damage, what caused it, and what kind of money we're talking about, and what we can do to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Time and use. There was no vandalism, no willful damage. They are old lights. They've been used on and off. Some of the switches and contactors are bad.
Okay.
The bulbs are bad. The housings are bad. They've corroded, so you can't even screw the bulbs in anymore in some of them. So we're looking at replacing the entire, as part of the ball field work.
Yeah.
Replacing the entire lighting system.
Okay.
On that field, and it'll be a substantial piece of work. And like I said earlier, we took care of the soccer field. Now it's time for the baseball field, and we're going to do these things right and systematically and progressively through as we go.
Okay. So no, it wasn't vandalism or anything like that then. Okay.
No.
All right. That's what I was wondering because it wasn't specified in there. So thanks a lot. And thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. I'm glad you were able to represent the city on that show with those youth. We were impressed too when we went. And they do have a good barbecue there too.
So I put a question forward, but I didn't get a response back because he had a lot of messages. We were texting questions, but my question to him is, and I think this is what's going to be addressed in the audit, is one of the issues is when they changed the parameters of the housing element mid-cycle, and which causes us to have to restart the entire process mid-cycle over again. And I wanted to see if they could, if League would put a bill forward, sponsor a bill, get some legislator to sponsor a bill that would say HCD can't do that. That once it's settled, it takes, that if we've got 8 years to do it, then leave us alone for 8 years. Don't have some, new legislator come in who's got a hair up inside his ear that's itching him, and he's got to make some kind of, name for himself with a housing law, mid-cycle. And then we got to go to pay $500,000 again to the consultant to redo the element again,
I'll talk about, I got something to say during my comments, but you're right, and they have been talking about that, and that's the problem. Somebody wants to come in and do stuff, but. Councilmember Wilson?
Thank you, Mayor. I hope everybody had a fine Christmas and New Year's. And there has been a general upswell in interest in relation to Grand Terrace's ancient history. And it doesn't go back very far, but since we did our presentation at the Historical Society situation over at the junior high, we would like anyone in the city that is either interested or might have some information that might be valuable to the pursuit to contact the city or myself and get that information to us about historical knowledge in relation to Grand Terrace. We know that the area was largely a kind of a plantation with groves all over the place, and a lot of gentlemen farmers that were putting the stuff together, and they were going down into the packing houses. And so literally from 1915 on, there was nothing but groves until about the 1960s or 50s, when things started to grow up a little bit so far as commercial and residential and so on. But there's a ton of information available to us. We'd just like to augment it as much as possible and get it in some kind of a book form. And we have already talked to the assembly member, Ochoa Boa, and they are willing to help us in this endeavor. So anything that might be of interest to the citizens of Grand Terrace, as well as those that are in the outside areas, please contact one of us and see if we can't get that information input. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Nothing to report out, other than I've received lethal pepper spray to clear the room so we can end this meeting now. Thank you. Councilmember Brown.
Happy birthday.
Is that for the kebab for Saturdays?
It's for you.
Oh, okay. I sucked on plenty of that stuff, so that doesn't bother me. Now, if you spray Gary here, he might go out of the room. I don't know. Okay, well, thank you. And yeah, you know, it was, you know, I was out of state during Christmas, seeing my grandchildren. I always like flying during Christmas. This year, you know, 7-hour delay, but at least it wasn't canceled. And, but, you know, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. I know it rained here the whole time, I guess, when I was gone. And I said, when I come back home, you guys will have spring or summer again. Look what's happened. So I'm just a ray of sunshine, I guess, Mayor Pro Tem. But what Councilman Allen said at the House, you know, I'm actually going for the SCAG, the Southern California Associated Government. We're having a workhouse meeting in Riverside City Hall tomorrow from 12 to 3. And that's one of the biggest things, the housing element. One, you're right. I think when somebody new gets in, they want to change the whole thing that's been going. You know, the city here, we paid, what, $750,000 for the element. And even talking with SCAG, we moved forward on it, and the state doesn't know what to do. So they come up with this pie in the sky thing, and then we come up with a solution, and they don't know if that's a good solution. So I think what I'm getting at, you know, it's been a year since we had our little, well, not little, but since we went to, you know, they turned off our power. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, the winds were blowing again, and I know we had some trees down, but thank God we had rain before that. Otherwise, our power probably would have been off. But saying about the Palisade fires that they had, and, you know, here it is a year, I think they got one house built. Well, when we were in North Carolina, and or South Carolina, me and my wife got stuck during the hurricane, and in North Carolina, they had Chimney Rock, the town right there, pretty much got washed out. Well, guess what? A year later, that whole town's almost rebuilt because they don't have all the same politics as what we have here and the same CEQA and all the other red tape that goes to it. The government, actually, you know, from North Carolina and the surrounding areas got together to rebuild that town. And that town, if you want to think about it, it's like an Oak Glen. It's a tourist attraction. So it's a lot of money being made there. But, you know, you've seen the river, you see the devastation. People don't realize how water can destroy things. And I always tell people, if you want to know how strong water is, stand in the ocean and turn your back to the waves and feel the force push you over. It's pretty much, and that's not nearly what happened during the flash flood. So that's what we're talking about, Councilman Allen. We're still working on it, and SCAG's trying to get with the League of Cities. We're both on the same page, but getting Sacramento on that page, that's a whole different thing. Now, we have representatives, and I know our Assemblywoman, she's fighting for, and our Senator, and you know, it's a election year for a lot of people, but we can only keep up the good fight and keep moving forward and, you know, ask the big what if. And, you know, $750,000 to put on the burden of the taxpayers' residents, we could have used that money for a lot of other things besides writing a little pie in the sky thing saying you could put, you know, low density or high density homes in here. So anyway, so we're still fighting that. So not only like we do, like, you know, here on the city, we do go to state levels and we fight for our city. We're always the squeaky wheel to try to get what we can for our little town. And I just want to thank all the volunteers again who put the Christmas tree lighting ceremony together. Our city's blessed with all these volunteers, and, you know, it was a great event. I know we had a little hiccups in the Christmas tree. I think it went out in Christmas, but, but still, that tree's not the real meaning of Christmas. But we'll keep going, and it got fixed. So it's just getting bigger and better, and I appreciate all the staff and all the acting city managers. Actually, Conrad, you weren't missed, so just to let you know. But you had a good, the leadership, they still did a good job, and they were always available. Well, you were missed, buddy. And we're wondering what you brought us for a souvenir from down under.
What?
Oh, okay. No pet kangaroos to go with donkeys?
No kangaroos, no koalas, no shrimps for the Barbie.
Well, thank you and welcome home. I'm glad you had a safe trip. So that's all I got. Conrad, you have anything?
Yeah, and I also want to echo that. Thank you to the staff, to be able to go and engage in something like that and know that, and you're right, I wasn't missed. Don't tell the council that. But the staff really did a great job. They filled in, they took care of business, and to have a group like that, to be able to work with the community is very fortunate that we have a group like that. With that, we did. Sorry, I'm still on. I was in 8 different time zones, and I really don't know what time it is right now, so I'm kind of a little.
That's why we have a short agenda, right?
That is, I can't count past 7. So anyway, we are doing the point in time count with San Bernardino County. This is the identification and location of homelessness countywide. There's one day, it'll be January 22nd, where every community, and the county itself counts their homelessness. This is so that we get an idea of where they are, how many there are, to let us on a regional basis apply for grant funding and to provide services for the homeless. We do need volunteers to help us on the 22nd in the morning. It'll be early morning. So anybody that would like to come out and spend that morning with us, we would be glad to help that. And if you give Daisy a call at the clerk's office, she could pass that on. And it's 6 a.m. And with that, I want to thank Councilmember Allen and Councilmember Brown, who normally staff is involved in this, and these two raised their hand and said it's important enough for us to do this. So they are our staff contributions and staff lead in this project. So I do want to thank them for stepping up and above and beyond. So thank you. Also, Inland Empire Magazine. I think all of you have a copy here at the counter. I'll get some to the Chamber of Commerce and to the businesses. This is the local trade and advertising publication. Grand Terrace was recognized as a community of note and a community to watch. So we have a 2-page article on us in the magazine. It came out, I think it was the October issue. And from what I understand, we are still a community of note, and we will be out in, I believe, the February issue as well. So we are putting ourselves on the map. And then finally, City Hall will be closed on Monday the 19th in honor of Martin Luther King Day. So we will be back on the 20th. And I don't believe our guys in uniform have anything, so that is it. Thank you.
Well, you might need to do a wake-up call for Councilmember Brown. He likes to sleep in. 6 a.m. You can't back out of it now.
It's going to be a short morning because I'm attending Tom Schwab's memorial service at 9, so.
Okay, I'll be in Sacramento, but thank you. Where exactly do they, there's places to count, but where are you guys focusing on?
Known haunts. So the Barton Bridge on the west end, there's a couple of homeless camps that we took out on Main Street right by the railroad tracks. And then there's a couple other scattered places where we've had homeless in the past. And it should be a relatively quick exercise because we've been very good about managing our homeless in town and getting them into the services and into areas that can provide services for them and not having extensive camps. And I don't think you guys will have to take off your shoes to get the full count. So we can do it probably on one hand. We won't even need 2 hands. So, but 6 a.m. and where are you meeting? These guys have been running the whole deal, so
Well, your code enforcement officers are the ones who are going to, and Gil and Tabitha, you know, I guess here. You know.
City Hall, 6 o'clock.
Yeah. And so, right.
Good, thank you. And that is,
Well, thank you, and thank you, Councilmember Brown, Councilmember Allen, for volunteering. Closed session, none. So tonight, we're going to adjourn in memory of a longtime city manager, Tom Schwab, and I appreciate everybody coming out here, and I appreciate all the work, and, you know, just wish everybody a blessed new year coming up, everybody's safe, and we got some stuff in the works for Grand Terrace, so it's going to be a busy year, busy year. So God bless, and we will see you January 27th at 6 p.m. If you have any items to request to be placed on a future agenda item, please give it to the city clerk. Meeting adjourned.